Energy is one of the biggest drivers of Oklahoma's economy, and it has been since before statehood. Our landscape is marked with thousands and thousands of wells. In our series, It's Your Government, we examine the work of Oklahoma agencies. One of them is the Oklahoma Energy Resources Board, OERB. It's a privately funded agency whose goal is to be a good steward of the environment by cleaning up hazards and eyesores at abandoned oil and natural gas drilling sites.
In 1975, Jim Burleson bought 2 acres in Jinx, just across the river from Tulsa.
This was an old tank farm.
The property's oil field history, evident by heaps of cement and twisted metal piled at one end.
When they moved, oil company moved out, they took everything but the cement.
Leaving behind debris was common practice in the early years of Oklahoma's oil and natural gas industry. As a result, nearly every county is littered with oil field junk. In some cases, land is also contaminated with hydrocarbons from drilling.
All I know is where that was, it was useless, worthless. And now it's good, usable land again. Property here in Tulsa, or South Tulsa, is expensive. So it increased the value considerable.
Burleson's land is valuable again because he called Oklahoma's Energy Resources Board to have it cleaned up.
Didn't cost me anything.
OERB picked up the tab. The Oklahoma Energy Resources Board was created in 1990 as a state agency, fully funded by oil producers and royalty owners.
They voluntarily pay 0.1% at the wellhead on what's sold in Oklahoma. By and far, we have about 90% of the royalty owners and producers in Oklahoma that are involved with our program.
OERB spokesman Steve Sowers says the money raised ranges between $10 and $14 million a year. It pays for the agency's two-pronged mission, to educate the public about Oklahoma's oil and natural gas industry, and it pays for the cleanup of orphaned or abandoned oil field sites.
We are probably approaching about 12,500 sites that we have restored at a cost of about $75 million.
The average cleanup costs around $7,000, but some large restoration projects have run up tabs well into the 6-figure range.
We are always looking for new sites. We estimate there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 25,000 to 50,000 sites that require further assessment and evaluation.
When a landowner contacts OERB about a cleanup, the first job is to determine if there's a person or company that can be held accountable to pay for the restoration work.
We work very closely with the Oklahoma Corporation Commission as well, and they can contact the Oklahoma Corporation Commission and just give us a history as to what is on the site, what the issues are, and then we will forward that information to the Corporation Commission. And in Osage County, we work with the Bureau of Indian Affairs as well.
If the Corporation Commission or BIA can't find a responsible party, OERB then hires a contractor to remove the debris and restore the land.
We bid those projects out competitively, and then we award the project ultimately to the lowest and best bidder.
Contractor Shane Aslan bids on OERB cleanup projects. His latest project is at Keystone Lake on Army Corps of Engineer land. To get to it, he'll first have to clear a road to get into the remote site.
This is the first one I've been on that we've had to go. It's probably a mile and a half back into it. There's oil tanks and concrete that we'll haul out and bust up, and places riprap. But main thing's oil tanks.
Aslan's crew will also clean up these old oil derrick bases exposed by the lake's low water level. Those likely date from the 1920s or 30s, as does this pump jack base, which will also be hauled away. When the project's done, this land will be as clean and as pristine as Jim Burleson's property in Jenks.
Well, I've had a lot of cement junk off the old engine foundations, engine houses, trees, just a bunch of debris. And they come in here and disposed of it and cleaned it up and even sodded it.
Some debris from oil field cleanups can be recycled. Other items are disposed of in approved landfills. Contaminated soil is disposed of according to Environmental Protection Agency guidelines.